Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe at home and healthy too. Now, in this session 6 of chapter determinants, we are going to discuss the adjoint concept. So, let's try to understand what is meant by adjoint of a matrix and its some of important results, or you may also say its important properties, based on which the exercise is framed. Now let's try to understand the concept first. What is meant by adjoint of a matrix? It's simply the by definition, if A is a square matrix of order n by n, then adjoint of A, shortly written as ADJ, sometimes also written as small adj, meaning wise saying, adjoint of A is simply defined as the transpose of cofactor matrix. It's simple, straightforward definition. Adjoint of any square matrix is simply nothing but transpose of cofactor matrix. And the question comes, what is meant by cofactor matrix? It's simply the matrix which gives the cofactors of each and every element. Let us try to understand the definition in some detail. Let us say the matrix A. I am just taking the 2 by 2 order. Hence, here the elements A11 represented by small a11, a12, a21 and a22. So this is 2 by 2 square matrix. Hence, the cofactor matrix means the cofactor of a11. So that is by eliminating the row and the column. Then the left element is what? A22, which is multiplied by minus 1 to the power of 1 plus 1. Hence, the cofactor of this will be what? A22 represented by C11. Similarly, cofactor of second element is represented by C12. Cofactor of third element C21. Cofactor of fourth element C22. So this is what cofactor matrix. If given matrix is A, then cofactor matrix is C, then its transpose. What is the transpose of this cofactor matrix? It would be C11. Row and columns are interchanging. C12, C22. So this is what transpose of cofactor matrix, which is termed as adjoint of a matrix A. So simply, adjoint of matrix means it's just a transpose of cofactor matrix. So this is what adjoint. Now, what is the purpose to discuss this adjoint matrix? That is a question. It's simply we are going to use this adjoint matrix to find the inverse of the matrix if it is exist. Again, the condition if it is exist. So first, how to find the inverse, right, with the formula, and how that formula came, so that we are going to understand first. So this is the simple way to remember. A is a square matrix, then the corresponding cofactor matrix means it's just a collection of cofactors of the each and every element, and then transpose of this cofactor matrix is known as adjoint matrix. So now, with the help of this definition, we are going to discuss some important results of adjoint matrix. Okay, let's see. So now, before discussing this, I wanted to recall one important result which we have discussed in the matrices chapter, where we were discussing the elementary row operation method to find the inverse of the square matrix. But we were discussing the one important result that A into B, if A into B is equal to B into A, if the product gives identity matrix, then we said inverse of A is B and inverse of B is A. Have you remember this one? AB is equal to BA is equal to I. Then we can say these two matrices are inverse of each other. Inverse of each other. So based on this fundamental concept, we are going to discuss some important results. See, the first operation what I wanted to discuss under the adjoint concept is what is the product of a matrix with adjoint of the matrix. I wanted to know the product of a square matrix with its adjoint, right? Now for that, I'm just writing the 2 by 2 square matrix just to understand the concept. A11, A12, A21 and A2. This is a matrix A, and as you know that cofactor adjoint means the transpose of cofactor matrix. I am writing the cofactors with the letter C. So C11, then C21 because row and columns will interchange, C12 and C22. This is the cofactor transpose of cofactor matrix known as adjoint of matrix, already discussed. Now I wanted to do the product of these two matrices. What I am going to get? Simply the rule is says that first row, first column, first row, second column, like that. So A11 into C11 first, A11 into C11 plus A12 into C12. This is the first and the second element I am writing. First row, second column. This would be A11 C21 plus A12 C22. Similarly, A21 C11 plus A22 C12. Then A21 C21 plus A22 and C22. So when I multiply this and comes to know that this value basically gives the determinant of the square matrix A, as we have discussed this property in the last class, that determinant of A in terms of cofactor is simply nothing but sum of the product of the elements of any row with their corresponding cofactors is known as determinant of A. Definition: if the elements are multiplied by the cofactors of other row are right, then the determinant value is 0. Hence this product, this becomes what? 0. Similarly, this element is 0 by definition, and this will give again the determinant. So now from this entire matrix, I can take det A as a common element from entire matrix. Hence, what is left with? 1, 0, 0, 1, which will be reduced to what? Identity matrix. So hence, I can write it as det A into I. So finally, what I have concluded that A into adjoint A will give det A into I. So that is the result I am going to write here. Finally, what I got, A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A always gives det A into I. So this is the first and the most important result of adjoint matrix after the definition. So I repeat here what I have tried to do it. First, I wanted to find out what will be the result of a matrix, square matrix with its adjoint. Then after doing this multiplication, I got to know that the result is det A into I. So I can say the first and the important property of adjoint is A into adjoint A is always equal to adjoint A into A. Product will be same, is equal to det A into I. So you may also prove this by taking 3 by 3 matrix, 4 by 4, n by n. General matrix. Fine. Now coming to the next point. Right. Now here, by doing some modification of this main result, this main result, I can derive some more results and which will be very useful while solving this such a type of questions. Right? Now what I am doing is I am assuming to derive this sub result which we called as corollary of the main result, that if det A is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0 means I am considering that the square matrix A is non-singular. Non-singular square matrix means whose inverse is exist. Other way to say is what? Where the A inverse is exist. So this is what we call the condition that A is not equal to 0. Then ultimately I can divide this entire result with det A, since det A is a real number which is not equal to 0. Hence, I can divide the entire result with det A. So, if I do that, what I can say, A into adjoint A by det A is equal to adjoint A into A by det A is equal to what we say here, det A is det A get cancelled, then I is left. This is the result. Now based on this result, what I am going to conclude here. So what I am saying here, simply I can also write this expression as A into adjoint A by det A. Similarly here, adjoint A by det A into A is equal to I. So if I assume this quantity as B, which one? Adjoint A by det A as B. If I assume this as B, so ultimately this would be B. So this entire statement is become like A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I, which will resembles here. So if any equation, matrix equation following this condition, A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I, then these two matrices are inverse of each other by definition. Hence, inverse of A is given by this and inverse of this operation also given by this. Now, what I am speaking here, hence, from here, what I can say here, inverse of A is inverse of A matrix is given by adjoint A by det A. So this is the result which we have obtained from the first result. So here this formula gives you the way to find the inverse with the help of adjoint matrix, right? And the way by using this formula to find A inverse is known as matrix method, what we called as the method to find the A inverse by using this formula is known as matrix method. So this is the formula which we are going to find the inverse of the square matrix, but the condition to apply this formula is det A is in denominator as a number, it cannot be equal to 0. Hence, the square matrix must be non-singular matrix. Then only the det A cannot be 0. Then only we can say A inverse exists. Then only you can use this formula to find the A inverse. So, to find the A inverse, we need to calculate two things first. First, we need to calculate det A. Then we need to calculate adjoint A. So, I am just writing the algorithm to find the A inverse here. How to find A inverse, that is inverse of the matrix by using the matrix method. The first will find det A value, the first step to find. And the second step, if det A is 0, then no need to find the inverse, because we know that if det A is 0, which we termed as singular matrix where A inverse does not exist, as this formula also not valid if denominator is 0. Hence, we'll only proceed when the det A is not equal to 0. it must have some value, positive, negative, real or complex. Hence then we find cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix. Then we'll find the adjoint of the matrix just by doing the transpose of this. And then finally we'll use the formula. A inverse is nothing but simply adjoint of the matrix is divided by det A. Simple. So adjoint matrix is divided by A, means every element of this matrix is divided by this constant. It's a simple way to find the A inverse. So this result is obtained from the main result, which was A into adjoint A is always equal to det A into I. Remember this formula, this result, very important. Now, based on this calculation, we got the formula. Now, I am expressing the same in a different manner to produce a different formula. Now, see what it be. I am using the same result, but just by expressing in a different manner, you will be able to get the new result. What? I can also write this as A upon det A into adjoint A. Result is A. Similarly, here adjoint A into A upon det A, right? So, which is equal to still it is I. So now, by considering this as A matrix, this as B matrix, so A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I. Again, it follows the same definition. Again, these two matrices are inverse of each other. Hence, I can say the inverse of adjoint A is equal to what? A upon det A. See how beautiful result came out. If adjoint A, this result would be useful if adjoint A is given to you and you need to follow the original matrix. What was the actual matrix? Means it's a reverse gear. Once the matrix is given, this is a general way to find the A inverse or general way to find adjoint. But adjoint is given, how to find the actual matrix? This is the way. Simply by doing what? Inverse of adjoint is given. Then by using what this formula, you can find the matrix A. So here I can say the matrix A, original matrix, is simply nothing but det A into adjoint A the whole inverse. So this is the main result which you need to remember again. So matrix A is given, right, by the formula det A into adjoint of whole inverse. Now the question is, if you don't know the A matrix, how can you find the det A? That is coming to the next result. See, what is that? So whatever the result we have derived, I am going to write in a list wise here, and thereafter we'll discuss. Now I am taking the same result here. See, I am taking the same result, A into adjoint A into adjoint A into A is equal to A. So I can take any of the two parts at a time to understand. So I am taking the first and the last. A into adjoint A is equal to det A into I. So this is the result. Now I am taking det on both the sides. So if I take det on both the sides, A into adjoint A is equal to determinant of adjoint A into identity matrix. So now, as we know the rule of determinant, det AB is equal to det A into det B. With the help of this, I can solve the left hand portion of this result as det A into det of adjoint A, which is equal. Now, we also studied that det determinant of k into A is equal to k to the power of n into det A, and n representing the order of the square matrix and the properties of determinant. With the help of this, I can solve the right hand question. Det A is a number, hence it is treated as K. I is an identity matrix of order n, hence this result can be written as K to the power n, that is det A to the power of n into determinant of I. And as you know, determinant of I, identity matrix, is always 1 because it's simply the product of diagonal elements. And all the diagonal elements are 1, hence determinant of I is 1. As you know that determinant of identity matrix is always 1. Hence this result is reduced to, I can take det A in denominator. Reason, it's a constant which is not equal to 0. Hence, I am just taking this det A in denominator. Hence, adjoint of determinant of adjoint A is reduced to det A to the power of n minus 1. Because if I do this det A in denominator, x to the power of n by x to the power of n, x to the power of n minus n, by this identity, I can say this is the result we obtained. Now, how to find the determinant of adjoint A? Simply by det A to the power of n minus 1. So, this is a important results which we have derived from the one common property of the adjoint. I am listing those results which we have derived here in short over here. But these all sub results only possible on which condition? If det A is not equal to 0, means the square matrix must be what? Non-singular matrix. So simply I am writing the things which we have discussed. I am listing the things. We started with the adjoint concept. The definition of adjoint of A matrix. It's simply the transpose of cofactor matrix. The point number 1. Point number 2, which we have discussed as A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to what? Det A into I. Is important result. Based on this, we have derived some important results, but the condition, if determinant of A is not equal to 0, then we can say the inverse of the square matrix. We have derived the formula. Inverse of square matrix is simply adjoint A by det A. Similarly, determinant of adjoint A, we have derived just before, that det A to the power of n minus 1. And we can also write the adjoint, inverse of adjoint A is simply det A into A. So these are the sub results we have derived from this result. Apart from this, these are there in the NCERT textbook. Apart from this, there are several properties we can derive from this definition only, and just I am listing those properties here without discussing their derivation, because their derivation doesn't have any importance in this context. Only the results are important, and the list will be shared with you through the what we called as worksheet. Now I am just writing the properties here. Adjoint of A into B, product of two matrices, is simply adjoint B into adjoint A. Apart from this, adjoint A is simply given as det A to the power of n minus 2 into A. And the last here I am writing adjoint of adjoint A is simply det A to the power of n minus 1 the whole square. And there are some more results where we'll relate the transpose, inverse, and several things, right? This will be there in the list of formulas, list of notes, right, which will be shared later on. Now, Based on these fundamentals, we are going to discuss few questions here, right? One after the other. I am taking 2 by 2 matrix first to find the A inverse, and then we'll discuss 3 by 3 matrix to find the A inverse. Thereafter, one important sum which we'll be discussing thereafter, right? So now I am taking one common a square matrix to find the A inverse. This is a concept. Now find the inverse of A if A is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 2 by 2 matrix. This simple question. Now, how to find the inverse? What was the sequence? First, we need to check whether it is singular or non-singular matrix by finding its determinant. What is the first solution? First, we are finding det. What is the det value here? By doing cross multiplication, 4 minus 6, that is minus 2, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, A inverse is exist. Then only we'll move for the other. Then cofactor matrix, that is C matrix. How can we find the cofactor matrix? Simply by eliminating the row and column. If you eliminate the row and column of the element 1, the left element is 4, and which is multiplied by its sign. So simply I am writing first C11, I want to find C12, C21 and C22. How can I find the cofactors? Here see, minus 1 to the power of 1 plus 1 into 4, and minus 1 to the power of 1 plus 2 for the element 2, it would be into 3. C21 for this, minus 1 to the power of 1 plus 2 into 2, minus 1 to the power of 2 plus 2 by eliminating this into 1. So by calculating these values, you will be able to get like it is 4 and it is minus C12 first row second column, it is minus 3 and it is minus 2 and it is plus 1. So what you have understood here, if I want to find the cofactors, what the changes you have to see here. See, so simply, sorry, first we have calculated cofactor matrix. Now I am doing the transpose of it to get the adjoint. Adjoint of A is equal to transpose of this, which is equal to what? Just interchange the rows and column. 4 minus 2 minus 3 and 1. So we called as adjoint A. So if you observe from direct, well, only this will work. The trick I am going to discuss is only works in 2 by 2 square matrix. Now see, if you observe the square matrix and the adjoint, what are the changes you have observed? See, एक बार चेक करते हैं, adjoint के लिए बात कर रहा हूँ सिर्फ. Now see, here the diagonal elements are 1 and 4. And what are the diagonal elements in the adjoint matrix? Is 4 and 1. Means the diagonal elements are get reversed. And what are the other diagonal elements? What happened to other diagonal elements? You can see the other diagonal elements. It is 2, 3. And what are the other diagonal elements we got as? Minus 2 and minus 3. Only sign is changes. So it is a shortcut trick to find the adjoint of matrix simply by reverting the main diagonal element, that is what, swiping the elements. Second, other diagonal element sign will interchange, just you need to change the sign. If it is plus minus, minus हो तो plus में convert होगा. So this is a shortcut way to find the adjoint of square matrix of 2 by 2 order only. That with the help of this adjoint, now we are going to find the inverse. That is our primary concern. How to find now inverse? You know the formula of A inverse, which we called as by matrix method. So A inverse is simply what? Adjoint A matrix divided by det A number. So what is the adjoint A matrix we got as? 4 minus 2 minus 3 1, which is divided by the constant minus 2. So it means every element of the square matrix is divided by minus 2. Finally, the result is 4 by minus 2 is minus 2, get cancelled here 1, it is 3 by 2, it is minus 1 by 2. So this is what A inverse. It's so simple as compared to elementary operation method. So students generally prefer this matrix method to find the inverse if it is exist, right? Unless it is stated the method. Now, with the help of this concept, you may also find the inverse of 3 by 3 square matrix. So we are here just bounding ourselves to find the inverse till 3 by 3 only, but you may extend this process for any order of the square matrix. So what is the procedure you have understood? Simply, first we need to check whether it is a singular or non-singular matrix. Means det A की value 0 होगा कि not equal to 0 होगा. If it is not equal to 0, then only the inverse is possible. Then only you will go for the method. Otherwise, you will simply stop and stating that inverses won't exist. Then if it is exists, then go for the cofactor matrix. You may do the mental calculation, directly write the cofactor matrix. If not, you may list all the cofactors first for each element and then write with their proper order and then do the cofactor matrix transpose, which will give the adjoint A. Then after finding the adjoint A, use this formula to find A inverse, that is adjoint A by det A. Simply the adjoint matrix is divided by det A value to give the exact A inverse of the given square matrix. So the way we are following here, which is also applied for 3 by 3. So I am just leaving that part to you as an homework. You are enough mature to apply this technique for 3 by 3. Only the work is increases when 3 by 3 matrix is given, but the methodology is remains same. Here we are finding the cofactors of 4 elements. In 3 by 3 case, we will finding the for 9 elements, but method will remain same. So I am leaving that 3 by 3 matrix, how to find A inverse and all. So up to you, right, as an homework. Now I am going to discuss the other type of question, how we can proceed with. Let's see. Right. Now, one important concept we are going to see again as a subpart. As we know that if A and B are the square matrix of order n by n, A is n by n order and B is also of having the same order. And product of AB is equal to B is equal to I. Then what we called as inverse of A is equal to B and inverse of B is equal to A. So why I am repeating the same? There is a reason that by using this information we are going to derive a small bit of results which are very important in this exercise or in this session. Now if A inverse is B, B inverse is A, this same result can also be stated as B is the inverse of A. So this B can be replaced with A inverse. Hence, the same result can also written as A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. Or in terms of B, you want to write B into B inverse is equal to B inverse into B is equal to I. B into B inverse is equal to B inverse into B is equal to I. So the same result we are writing in terms of inverse language, right? So if a matrix is multiplied by its inverse, or inverse of the matrix is multiplied by the matrix, the result is what? Identity matrix. Now what is the use of this discussion? Now I am taking this result to derive a small bit of important results. See. So by keeping this results in your mind, I am taking the first result here. A into A inverse is equal to I. Right? Already we have discussed. Now, what I'm doing, just I'm taking the debt on both the side, determinant on both the side. So, what the results it can give? See, if I take debt on both the side, determinant of A into A inverse is equal to determinant of I. So, if I take debt, it follows the property that A into B is equal to det A into det B. So, in that way, det A into it will be det A inverse and determinant of identity matrix is 1. So here product, this is also real number, this is also real number, determinant is always give some real numbers only. Now product of two numbers is 1, product of two numbers is 1, it means that definitely det A and det A inverse are not equal to 0. So from here I can say determinant of A is not equal to 0. What does it mean? It means that inverse of the square matrix only exists when the det A is not equal to 0, means when the given square matrix is non-singular square matrix. First result. Apart from this, I can also speak here determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 upon det A. See how beautiful result it is. Determinant of A inverse is simply 1 by det A. 1 by det A also written as det A to the power of minus 1, just like 1 by x, right? Written as x to the power of minus 1 by reciprocally. Simply from here what we can say, right? Determinant of A inverse, right? Det of A inverse is equal to det A to the power of whole inverse. A small but most powerful result it is. So what I did, I simply took the main result. I just took the det on both the sides. By simplifying, I was able to get the important result. Now the same way, instead of taking the det, I am taking the transpose on both the sides. Now we'll see what the result it will give. Right. So what I am taking here as the first statement was A into A inverse is equal to I. If I take transpose on both the sides, what we have observed? A into A inverse whole transpose is equal to I transpose. And transpose of identity matrix is always identity matrix only. Now, as you know, the reversal of transpose, AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. That is very clear. So with the help of this reversal of transpose, I can write this as A inverse whole transpose into A transpose, right, is equal to what? I. Getting my point? Now, what is the conclusion from this statement? This is a matrix. This is also a matrix. Product of two matrices is I. It means that these two matrices are inverse of each other. Hence, here, if I consider this as B, this as A, so B inverse will be A inverse will be B. Therefore, I am taking the inverse of B matrix, that is A transpose the whole inverse. A transpose the whole inverse is simply inverse of this is this, hence A transpose whole inverse is equal to A inverse whole transpose. This is a very, very, very important result. You need to be remember at least for 1 year, I would say, till your board exams. So A transpose whole inverse is equal to A inverse whole transpose. This is the sub result which is derived just by taking the transpose on the main result. But It plays very important role even in this session and the next session. You will see the HOTS, higher order thinking skill questions, many a times they are twisted on this property. What is that? A transpose whole inverse is equal to A inverse whole transpose. Getting my point? Now, apart from this, you may also speak like A inverse of whole inverse is again the matrix itself. That is the last point of this today's session. A inverse of whole inverse is equal to I. How? Again from the same definition. See here, if this is a matrix A, this is a matrix B, A into B is equal to I, it means that these two are inverse of each other. So can I say inverse of this B matrix is this? So what is this result states? Inverse of this second matrix is A only. So can I say here from the result inverse of inverse the matrix itself? Now how beautifully these results came out. From the standard result that A into A inverse is equal to I, from these results, I can say inverse of inverse the matrix itself, just like transpose of transpose the matrix itself. Second thing is what? A transpose whole inverse is equal to A inverse the whole transpose. Third result, det of A inverse is simply what? Det A the whole inverse are 1 by det A. So these are the three important results are derived from this fundamental one. So I am just writing these 3 points again in a just diagrammatical diag pictorial representation I could say. What are the three results we have derived? Right. What was the result? A into A inverse is equal to I. This was the key point, key result. With this key result, what we have derived is the first one, you are writing in order. A inverse of inverse is equal to A. This is the result number one. And the second result, what we have derived, right? What we have derived that det of A inverse is equal to 1 by det A, or det A to the power of minus 1. And the third result was A transpose the whole inverse is equal to A inverse the whole transpose. Means आप किसी भी स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स जहां इनवर्स पॉसिबल है ट्रांसपोज करके इनवर्स फाइंड करें या इनवर्स पहले फाइंड करके बाद में ट्रांसपोज करें, रिजल्ट विल बी सेम. दिस इज द मीनिंग. So I have derived the small important results from the fundamental result. So this is the beauty of this chapter. You may also derive several results based on the standard result without losing its reality. Okay. So based on this fundamentals, now I am just discussing only two sums. In that too also I will give only the hints to solve the question. I am not going to solve entire sum here. Only I will give the clues to solve. Okay. So for that I am taking now the question from NCERT textbook. Now see, one question is framed to find the, I am writing here example number 25 from the textbook. What is that? If matrix A is equal to 2, 3, 1 and minus 4 and B matrix is given as 1, minus 2, minus 1 and 3, right? A matrix, B matrix. Then verify that AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now what to do in this case? Verify means we need to solve left hand side and right hand side both. To solve the left hand side, first we need to multiply both the matrix. When you multiply these two, you will get a C matrix as a new matrix. Then find the inverse of that matrix, right, by using matrix method with the formula this one. Similarly, for right hand side, you need to find the inverse of B first and then inverse of A, then find the product of the results. Then you will see the left hand side is equal to right hand side. Apart from the solution, this is the basically reversal of inverse. You have to remember this result, that AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse, as just it is just a reversal of transpose. What we have studied, AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. In a similar way, AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Getting my point? So from these two results, if whenever it is true, we can say that A and B both are non-singular matrix, means inverses exist. If these two are non-singular matrix, then AB is also non-singular. Their product is also non-singular. I repeat, if A and B are non-singular matrix, then their product is also non-singular. AB is also non-singular, BA is also non-singular matrix. So this is as a question you are solving, but as a important result you can remember. You may add this result in your list. Okay, fine. Coming to the next question. So how the question just reverse. Let us say don't focus on the values here. Let us say it is B inverse is given. Now what we have to do? We have to find, if A is given, inverse of B is given. We need to find AB whole inverse. Now how to find AB whole inverse? Simply again we know that AB whole inverse means B inverse into A inverse. So B inverse is already given in the question. No need to do anything here for B. And to find A inverse, we have A. Then go with the general method to find A inverse, right? And then get the product of B inverse matrix into A inverse matrix. That's it. So that will give the AB whole inverse. Okay. So save your time. Don't waste your time to find again inverse of inverse for the both the matrix. Okay. So now coming to the last question. Now how can we solve the matrix equation? This question is about the matrix equation. See here the question. Example number 26 I am taking. Right, the matrix A is 2 by 2 matrix 2 3 1 and 2, and here matrix equation is given, and the matrix equation show that this matrix is satisfying A square minus 4A plus I equal to a 0 matrix. First we have to show that this matrix satisfying this matrix equation, means we need to find first A square, that is A into A, simple by product, and then 4 into A means that matrix is multiplied by 4, and then identity matrix of order 2 by 2, that is 1 0 0 1, and by doing this operation plus and minus and all in a order, then you must get as a 0 matrix. Then you can say yes, this matrix is satisfying this matrix equation. This is a general part we already done in the matrix chapter, so I am not discussing such part here. And what else in this question? What they asked, right? So what they asked, using this equation, right? Find A inverse. This is the beauty of this question. Now, what they said? First part was show that it satisfies the equation, and then By using this equation, you need to find A inverse. So it means that you cannot use this formula to find A inverse any case. So how to find A inverse by using this equation? Now see, it's a common method you may apply anywhere. So first I am taking the equation. What was the equation given? A square minus 4a plus I equal to 0. So before proceeding this method, first I will find determinant of A. So if we find the determinant 4 minus 3, that is 1. So hence it is not equal to 0. Hence what we say, A inverse exists. Just to apply this technique to find A inverse, first we need to check det. If det is not equal to 0, then only you can do the method which I am going to explain. So now multiply by A inverse on both the sides. So it means that every term is multiplied by A inverse. So I can write it as A inverse into A square minus 4 times of A inverse into A plus A inverse into I equal to A inverse into 0 matrix. Now can you reduce anywhere? See, this can be written as A inverse into A matrix multiplication is associated, and A inverse into A is I. Already we have discussed this in the session. A inverse into I will give A inverse only because in multiplication identity matrix effect is nullified. Hence now A inverse into 0 matrix is always 0 matrix. Now again A inverse into A, this is reduced to I into A equal to minus 4I plus A inverse equal to 0. I into A is again A, hence A minus 4I plus A inverse equal to 0. Hence, finally, the A inverse is given by 4I minus A. Are you getting me? So, how can I use this equation to find A inverse? Simply by substituting identity matrix of order 1 0 0 1. You have you know that, and the matrix A is given directly in the question. By substituting identity matrix and A matrix, by simplifying this expression, you are directly getting A inverse. So here we are either following the elementary row operation or following the matrix method to find A inverse. We are following the third way to find A inverse, that is what? Simply by using the matrix equation which is given. But before go for this technique to find A inverse, first we'll check determinant of A whether it is 0 or not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, then only we'll multiply the entire equation with A inverse. When I do the multiplication of A inverse, either you keep A inverse left hand side or we keep it on the right hand side of the each term, right, to maintain the order. So I kept A inverse as a left, that is called pre-multiplier, and then simply apply a small results like A into A inverse is I into A is always I into A inverse is again A inverse into 0 is again 0 matrix. In that way, if you simplify, finally you will get A inverse as some expression, and in that expression you need to just substitute the values of the matrices which you already calculated. This, by simplifying this, you will be able to get A inverse. So friends, this is what I try to explain and try to make you understand the concept of adjoint. You have seen that in this session we started with the definition of adjoint, and we have derived one important result. Based on that result, we have derived several sub results, right, which we called as corollary, or which also termed as main important key results. and based on that key result there are several results are derived. Almost I think there are 15 results you can derive from the main definition. So I have listed maximum number of results here. By using that results, we have discussed the methodology to find the inverse of the matrix in this section. So I hope you have understood each and every concept after watching this video. So thank you for watching this video and thank you for your patience to watch me in this session 6 as now. I would say just do practice to make you perfect. So keep on watching the video, keep practicing and keep growing. Thank you all of you once again.